Welcome everybody this to our second Zoom and Connect. And I'm very honored to be here today with Pamela Miles. Pamela is an international Reiki master practicing since 1986, the foremost medical Reiki expert and author of the award-winning book, Reiki, A Comprehensive Guide. Welcome, Pamela. And Pamela is here today to share with us some of her thoughts about what's going on and how we can turn inward. So I'd like to pass it over to you, Pamela.
Well, thank you, Alexis. And lucky me, because I had reached out to Alexis wanting to have her come in this way that we come together online, at least 6 feet apart, to speak to my people about how Jin Shin can help them, support their health in these challenging times. And she said, well, I would like to host it on my Facebook page, so I also get to talk to your people. So thank you, Alexis, for the invitation. And I'd like to take just a few minutes, because I'm really interested in what Alexis has to say, but I have a couple of things I want to say. And one is that, we're in this viral pandemic, and we know what we need to do. We know the practical steps we need to take: social distancing, wearing masks, washing our hands, and then creaming our hands because we're washing our hands so much these days. So there's basic practical steps to keeping ourselves and keeping one another safe. What we're learning in this time is that these things are interconnected. When I do what's good for me, I'm also doing what's good for you. And so this whole idea of interconnectedness is worth taking a look at, because when I take care of myself and when you take care of yourself, we are in fact taking care of everyone. And we're doing what only we can do. Our practical self-care, but then also I'd like to draw your attention to our spiritual self-care, because that's really something that nobody else can do for us. And in these days where there's so much fear, we have this viral pandemic, but we also have this other virus that is infecting people, that is maybe more contagious. No, not maybe, is definitely more contagious than the virus. And that is the fear pandemic. People are afraid of each other. They're afraid of the future. They're afraid of things they're not even able to articulate. And it's important to take a minute to look at fear, even though none of us want to, because we are limiting our strength. We're depleting our vitality when we let ourselves spiral into fear, and then we're infecting other people. So spiritual self-care is really, really important. And assessing our spiritual health is very important, and maybe it's something you've never thought of before. If you want to assess your physical health, you take certain measurements, like you take your fever, your temperature, to see if you have a fever. If you want to assess your spiritual health, you want to look at your state. Does that even mean anything to you, your state? We think we live in this world. We think we live with our families, our roommates, whatever, but we really live in our minds. We keep the company of our thoughts, and very often we don't even realize they're just thoughts. So what we want to be able to do in this time of isolation, this time of retreat, is so auspicious to be able to do this, is to back up from our thoughts, to watch them and realize who we really are. I came across a quote the other day on Instagram. I'm at Pamela Moves, if you like Instagram as much as I do. And a woman had done some lovely calligraphy, and it said, "And then I remembered who I was, and the game changed." Then I remembered who I was, who I am, who are we really? Because when we remember that, the game changes. And until we remember that, we're just our thoughts. And these days, mostly those thoughts are fearful. If we're not afraid for ourselves, we're afraid for other people. So taking the measure of your state, noticing, are you in a steady state? Are you content? Do you have a relationship with yourself, with being alive, that isn't battered around by the external circumstances, even when they're this intense? Do you have an entree into your timeless core, your true essence? The more we are in relationship with our timelessness, the easier it is to maintain our steady state. So on the physical level, we each have our own bodies. We're individuals. And on the level of individuality, we're separate. And we can connect. We're connecting right now, in a way. But within us, in our heart of hearts, in the depths of our being, we're not connected because we've never been disconnected. We're one. And that timeless oneness within your heart is the same timeless oneness within my heart. That's the thing about one. There's only one. There's only one. So the more we're able to cultivate a relationship with that oneness and realize that we are manifesting from there, that our form comes from that timelessness, the steadier we are, the healthier we are, and the better equipped we are to support the people around us. How can we take care of our state? I often say to my students, I'm such a nag. Take care of your state, and your state takes care of everything else. Take care of your state, and your state takes care of everything else, because we live in our state. And we can't make good decisions when we're frightened. So when we take care of our state, then we know what to do. We know the timing. We know when to move away. We know when to come closer. In order to take care of our state, we need spiritual practice. And there's not one spiritual practice that's better than any others. I started practicing meditation and yoga when I was a kid. So now you know how strange a child I must have been, because I was quite young. I was like 10 years old, and I'm reading books on yoga and meditation. And it helped me. It made sense to me. And so I started cultivating my state from a pretty young age, but it's never too late to start. And in 1986, I learned Reiki practice. By then, I was a meditation teacher. And I came to realize that most people don't meditate as easily as I do. So I became eventually a Reiki teacher because it's easier than meditation for most people. And it's unusual in that at the first degree level, at the entry level, we touch ourselves lightly, and that evokes this memory from deep within us of who we truly are. So what I would like to do in the next few minutes, if I may, is to offer you, anyone who would like, an experience of Reiki practice, distant practice. And if you would like, then to yourself, just say yes. And if for any reason you don't like, then to yourself, just say no. Because I feel very strongly that people get to make their choices. But I also want to clarify that it's not because I think Reiki practice is better than any other spiritual practice. I still meditate. I still practice yoga. I love to chant. You know, there's so many things, prayer, there are just so many wonderful practices. But what matters is that you choose your practice and then you have to actually practice it. You know, you can't just read that book and put it on the shelf. If you want to transform from a fearful state to one that is confident, you need to practice your chosen practice every day. So, as a Reiki master teacher, I can offer you a few minutes of distant Reiki practice. It's just what I'm trained to do. And if you would like it, I'm very happy. If you don't like it, I'm still happy that you can just sit quietly for a few minutes, because Alexis is the one who has the goods on this time that we have together. And so you can just wait for a few minutes and then hear from her. Okay? So now if everybody would just make yourself comfortable. You can even lie down if you have the option to do that. And I don't know what you're going to feel. You know, maybe you won't feel anything. Maybe you'll fall asleep. Maybe you'll be indrawn into a deep meditative state, into yoga nidra. Maybe you'll feel subtle pulsations. Maybe you'll have the sense like there's a butterfly in the very center of your heart. So subtle, but very transformative. And maybe you'll touch the stillness behind all of that. Whatever it is, enjoy it. It won't last, but you can come back to it whenever you want. So please close your eyes. And there's nothing you need to do beyond articulating your yes or your no to make this more effective or more accessible. So if you like, you can just be with your breath for the next few minutes. Enjoy your breath. Let your breath be as it is. You don't have to make it any better, any deeper, or stronger or longer. Just let it be as it is and enjoy it. Partner it. And whenever your mind wanders, as it will, if you like, you can come back to your breath. And when you hear my voice again, please keep your eyes closed a little longer and follow my guidance. Please keep your eyes closed a little longer and take a moment to check in with yourself. Notice your state now. Notice any little way in which your state is different than it was when we started. Then drop an anchor into this state. Let this steadiness stay with you. Don't come out of this state, but rather bring the state into your body. Be aware of your physical body. From this state, let yourself inhabit your physical form, feeling the way you do now. And spend a little extra time if you need with any part of your body that you don't like so much or that's not working so well. And wait until you feel fully present in your body, and only then let your eyes open gently, softly. If you open your eyes too soon, you're throwing away some of the benefits. You're overstimulating your nervous system. So let it be very gradual, very graceful. And then open your eyes with a big smile on your face. And know that you can use your imagination anytime you want. If this was a good experience for you, you can use your imagination and your memory to return to it, to experience it again, and let it refresh your state. And if you'd like to, you can join me. I'm leading 2 online Reiki practice sessions a week, and we'll give you links for that. But now I want to turn the mic back to Alexis. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pamela. This was really wonderful. And I really liked what you said about just to allow the breath wherever it is. There's nothing to do. And because then I felt it really getting lower into my body and felt like a very relaxed, natural, healing breath. So thank you. And I think that we are now ready to practice a little bit of Jin Shin because our bodies are now open, and I already feel, for me, I felt a slight pulsation and just a very nice open breath. So that's a very good place to begin with Jin Shin Jyutsu. So Jin Shin Jyutsu, it's specifically we're using locations. And so for today, what's going on today, I would like to give people who are watching a few for the health of our lungs and keeping our immune system open. So one of the locations that we use is SEL3, which is located right here at the tip of the shoulder blade. And that is the key to the immune system. The palm you can place on the top of the shoulder blade, which is 11. And SEL3 allows for the breath, the exhale and the inhale, as well as the 11 is where we tend to pile up a lot of stress. So that is the first hold that I like to share with you. And then with your other hand, you can make a ring with the thumb over your ring fingernail, like so. The ring finger helps the lung energy. So by holding this mudra, we're opening up the lung energy, and whatever helps the lungs helps everything in the body. So very similar to what we just practiced is you allow for the breath wherever it is and to just hold it for a few moments. And same as you explained, you may feel slight pulsation or you may see some colors, or that's different for everybody. I feel slight pulsation in this SEL3, this location, coming up to the fingertips. And that means that the energy is spiraling to core, the core center of the body, and then back out to surface. And you may feel, if there was any tightness, that it opens up. And so that allows for our immune system to function optimally. So then let's just practice the left side. Place your right hand over your left shoulder and make a ring with the thumb over the ring fingernail. In the art of Jin Shin, it's very much about the balance between the right side and the left side of the body. So you can practice both sides, and you may feel that one side feels a little bit better to you or more comfortable. So go with that. And now I'm going to go right into a little flow that helps to boost the immune system. So just remember this is one simple hold. And I'm going to teach you a 3-step flow pattern that is a detoxifying flow as well as keeping the immune system up. And Pamela you mentioned fear before. We're going to place our left hand on the middle of the back. That's location number 23. I'm going to move this a little bit so that you can see. It's right here, the middle of the back. And that helps to harmonize fear. So here are some simple ways to actually harmonize it on a body level. Just turn this up a little bit. And then just let's practice the other side. Place your left hand over your right shoulder and your right hand on the middle of the back, helping to harmonize fear.
Alexis, when you say the middle of the back, is it on the spine, or is it the middle of the back on one side of the body?
It's on one side of the body. These safety energy locations, as we call them, they're on the side of their body. They're 26 on the right and 26 on the left side. And when they are in harmony, there is balance within and without. Very much what you spoke about earlier. And now place your right hand in the groin area. I'm just gonna turn this a little bit so I can show it to you. It's right here. So from the middle of the back, we're going to the groin area. And this one helps our joy and laughter, which is so important at this time to keep the fear away and to stay in balance. And then we're going to move the left hand to the sole of the foot, like here. Sit up a little bit. Sole of the foot. So you have the groin and the sole of the foot. So while you're holding this, Pamela, I'm just going to show you one more time this flow. This is the first step, the shoulder and the middle of the back. Then step number 2 is the groin area. And step number 3 is the sole of the foot. So you want to do this lying down so you're very comfortable. So it's 3 simple steps. 1, 2, and 3. So you can really give yourself a little session like that. Take, 10, 15 minutes per day to do this, to keep your immune system in balance and keep it up and helping the lungs. Or you can also practice this on a loved one if you like. Same things, you just hold it on the person. Well, thank you, Pamela, so much for joining me today. Are there any questions, Lola?
Patricia.
We have a question from Patricia.
How do we do this for another person?
How do we do this for another person? Okay, Lola, come on here. Come on up. Need to show it to another person. Calling in Lola. We just came from exercise, so. But this is good.
Were you going to also show us something for the throat, Alexis?
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, so if you do this on another person, you're going to sit on, let's say you're treating the left side, you're going to place, The person will be lying down probably. So the person will be lying down and you're going to hold like this. Maybe you should lie down for a minute. Lie down. Yeah? No? It's okay. And then you go to the groin area. And then you place your right hand on the groin area and you go to the sole of the foot. So it's kind of hard to see in the film like this, but I hope you understand. Otherwise, you can send us a message and I'll send you some pictures of it. But so one more time, person is lying down. So they're lying down on their back. So you slide in your hand like this. Then to the groin area. And then you take this hand to the groin area and the sole of the foot. So
All on the same side.
All on the same side, and then you can also do the other side. Yeah, but if you help one side of the body, you automatically will help the other side as well. So you can just feel which one feels a little more full to you or a little more tight, and the person may feel some tenderness, or on yourself, because the right side has a different meaning than the left side. So see what works for you. And of course, you can practice both sides as well. And now I'm going to show a quick hold for a sore throat. So if you place your hands here, feel if there's any tightness in one of these two. We call them SEL 13. And for me, it would be this side. So I'm going to place my left hand on the right and then place my right hand on the left SEL 11, which we already worked with. So you're like this. Yeah, so see which one feels tighter to you. Place your opposite hand right there. And of course, there's breast tissue for women, so you want to be maybe a little bit tender. You want to be careful. And then place your other hand over the opposite shoulder, like so. You don't need to use pressure. You can just place your hands there and allow for the breath that we practiced earlier. Allow that to come into the body. And again, experience. Go in and experience. You may feel slight pulsation. Allowing for the energy to move in the body. You can hold this for a couple of minutes or wait till you feel the pulsation and they feel nice and balanced. And also quieting the mind and just allowing for the energy to move in the body. So this one will also help with flus and colds. So it's good to know to have anyway in your back pocket. And if you keep it open, then your immune system will be stronger and it's less likely that you will catch a cold or flu.
So is this something good to do routinely, or is this something you would do if you start to feel a sore throat?
It's good to do routinely, but it will help to clear up a sore throat. But the art of Jin Shin practice is really a daily practice as well. I practice, and all my clients, they practice on themselves every day, and all the students. Practitioners, yes, we do. You know, we have a lot of different flow patterns that work on the spine and on the side, and there are different combinations of flows. You know some of them, right, Pamela?
Yeah, I know just a couple, and I like them very much. I find it very helpful, which is why I wanted you to speak about this, because I know it's so effective and it's so easy to learn and to do at a simple level. You don't have to be an expert the way you are to be able to help yourself.
Yes, absolutely. You can practice at any level. You were talking about fear, and we use the fingers as well. And helping to harmonize fear, you can just simply hold your index finger, which is so easy to do. And that helps the emotion of fear, which is also very important today. So you can hold the 23, the middle of the back, or you can hold your middle finger. So there's many different ways to your index finger to go about it in a very simple way.
And you just hold whichever finger you want, or is it important to do one and then the other?
You can do one. I mean, you will find that it's more comfortable to hold one. I mean, we have a lot of, the right side tells you about what's going on in your life. It has to do with your daily life. Well, the left side of the body has to do more with older and genetic projects. So I'm telling you, go to the side that feels comfortable for you. That's probably what you need. But then as you will study this, then you can learn a lot more about it. Like the meanings of it and the meanings of the locations and the right and the left side and all of that. Yeah.
I'd rather ask you.
You can always call me Pamela. And everybody else. I mean, we're very, available and happy to talk to anybody about it. I think we have another question, Pamela.
Was the flow you did on me for fear and detox?
Yes. Yes, very much for fear and detox. The flow that I did on Lola and that you can practice on yourself. It's also an immune booster at the same time because Jin Shin is a harmonizer. So when you boost the immune system and when you're breathing, then you also get rid of toxins with the exhale. So they all tie in together.
Alexis, when you say boost your immune system, do you mean balance it? Because what if somebody has autoimmune, then we don't want to boost their immune system, right?
Yeah, it's a harmonizer. Jin Shin is a harmonizer. So if you have an autoimmune disorder, it will balance it and maybe slow it down. And if you have a depleted immune system, it will boost it. So in that way, it's a harmonizer. So you can't go wrong with it. The energy will always find its way where it needs to go. Yeah, thank you.
I think it's helpful for people to know that, because otherwise I hear so many fears because they don't understand,
Yeah, fear not, because you cannot go wrong with it. Even if the little flow that I just showed you, if you reverse your hands or something like that, it's probably exactly what you need, because ultimately we are the healer inside and we know where to go. These are just guidelines that we use. Lola?
Okay, few questions on left and right side. Isha wants to know, can we go with right and left side according to waning and waxing moon cycles, as one is letting go, another is receiving? And Evelyn wants to know, does it have to do with masculine and feminine?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just repeat.
About the moon cycles and the exhale and the inhale. Yes. In Jin Shin, we exhale from the right and we inhale from the left. And so it's very important to balance both. With the moon cycles, I can't answer exactly to that. Can you, Pamela?
No, that's above my pay grade.
About mine too.
For masculine.
And it's interesting, in a lot of modalities, the right side is male and the left side is female. In the art of Jin Shin, we use the right side as feminine and the left side as masculine. And that is because we work on a less dense level. It's an unmanifest level. So when you look at the energy meridians, if you are aware of that, then the left side is male and the right side is female. In Jin Shin Jyutsu, we work on a level where it's not the pathways yet. And there, the right side is female and the left side is male. But it's always going from matter to energy and energy to matter. So they really do go together and one becomes the other. So even if you think unmanifest, right side female and left side male, it's still the same. It is like, you know, the baby first has his head down in utero, and then when it comes out, it's upside. So it's almost the same thing, but in a different space. One more question.
Can you do the lung exercise again? The lung flow.
The lung flow. Oh, yes. I think what they mean is this one. To place your left hand over your right shoulder, SEL3. It's right at the tip of the shoulder blade, and you can place your palm on 11, which is right here. So you're like this, and then make a mudra with the thumb over the ring fingernail, like this. And the 3 helps the lungs. This one, SEL3, helps the lungs. It helps both the exhale and the inhale. And then the ring finger helps the lungs as well. So by holding this mudra, you open up the lung energy, which helps the entire body. And allowing for the breath, as Pamela was saying before. Okay, great. Yeah, so use this anytime. You can, you know, very often you see people holding a location anyway. It's really part of our innate wisdom. We're born with it, like babies sucking their thumbs. They know what they're holding. They know what they need. So you really want to create a routine that fits well for you, and that may change over time. I have a book too, so you can look into that, called The Art of Jin Shin. And the whole self-help program is in there. And Nola will put up a link later to that. And we're going to put up some links to Pamela's book as well, and some of your courses. So, Pamela, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know that I like your book so much that I have 2 copies, one in my bedroom and one in the family room, where I often will put my feet up on the sofa, and that's usually where I do a couple of Jin Shin flows on myself.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pamela. Well, I learned a lot today from you, and it was really wonderful. And I hope that we will be together again. I think when we get out of this phase, and in the future when we are in a different state of being, but we'll all go inside and be.
Yeah, take this time of confinement to transform ourselves. You know, turn the quarantine into a retreat. Like when we align ourselves with what is happening, then we're able to really reap the best that every season has to offer. So thank you again for getting together with me and hosting this on your Facebook page, and I look forward to more.
Look forward to more too. Bye. Bye-bye, Pamela, and bye, everybody. Thank you for joining. Stay healthy and well, and we'll see you all soon.